Have you ever wondered how an ordinary human being could become a god to millions and a nightmare to the rest of the world? This is not just the story of a dictator. It is the story of how human minds, like mine, like yours, can be shaped, manipulated, dominated. It is the story of a mass hypnosis that brought the world to its knees. But to understand how Hitler did it, we must first understand the psychological scenario that set the stage for his rise. Germany in 1919 was a broken country. World War I had ended, but peace did not bring relief. It brought humiliation. The Treaty of Versailles had crushed the nation economically, stripping away territories, exacting absurd reparations, and destroying the pride of an entire people. Millions of people lived in poverty. Inflation was so outrageous that children played with banknotes as if they were toys. Imagine seeing the price of a daily loaf of bread triple in a matter of hours. Imagine not knowing if your family will eat tomorrow. Now add to that the feeling of national guilt, the shame of having lost a war, and the constant fear that everything will get even worse. This was the emotional cauldron in which Hitler began to stir. He didn't come with weapons. He came with words, and words can be much more dangerous than bullets when used with precision. Hitler's first weapon was rhetoric. He spoke with fury, with passion, with an intensity that penetrated straight to the collective unconscious. He offered simple explanations for complex problems, and the human brain loves that. The mind under pressure seeks shortcuts, and one of the most dangerous shortcuts is confirmation bias. You start to believe only what reinforces your pains and fears. Hitler knew exactly which buttons to push. He didn't create hatred, he channeled it, and he pointed the finger. Jews, communists,
foreigners, elites. Didn't matter if it was true. It mattered that it was convincing. This process is called demonization. When you turn a group into an absolute enemy, you justify any action against it. And when millions begin to see the other as a threat, the worst ceases to seem unthinkable.
And begins to seem necessary. But it wasn't just the rhetoric. Hitler understood a profound psychological principle. People don't follow ideas, they follow emotions. And he built an emotional machine. Grand marches, flags, symbols, songs, oaths, all carefully choreographed to create a sense of belonging, a collective ecstasy. The individual disappeared, only the us remained. And the us was at war with the them. We call this de-individualization. When you dissolve into the mass, you lose personal responsibility. It's as if someone turned off your moral compass. That's how family men became murderers. Teachers became indoctrinators. Doctors became executioners, not because they were monsters, but because they stopped thinking like individuals. And there's more. Have you heard of Milgram's experiment? In 1961, psychologists discovered that ordinary people are capable of administering deadly electric shocks to others if an authority figure tells them to. This reveals something disturbing. Most of us would rather obey than question. Hitler was that authority figure. He wore the confidence of a leader, spoke like a savior, and behaved like a messiah. And when authority mixes with fear, totalitarianism is born. Nazi propaganda wasn't just political, it was psychological. Movies, posters, schoolbooks, everything reinforced the same narrative. You're right, they're wrong, and we're going to win. This creates an emotional feedback loop where the individual no longer has room to think differently, and anyone who dares to question becomes the enemy. Now think about it. This all started with a speech, with a man, with an idea, and the most terrifying thing, it wasn't magic, it was the science of human behavior. Hitler was a dark genius of mass psychology. He understood how fear transforms, how belonging is addictive, how hatred unites. He knew how to manipulate the human soul like a maestro conducting a dark symphony, and millions danced to his rhythm. The Hitler effect didn't die with him because he's not just a man. He's a distorted mirror of our deepest desires, the desire for order, for purpose, for clear enemies, for strong leaders. And if you think we're immune today, think again. Today, charismatic leaders continue to exploit the same mechanisms. Social networks amplify speeches, create bubbles, reinforce hatred. The difference? Now the hypnosis is digital, silent, constant. The real lesson here is not about Hitler, it's about us. If we don't know the gears of mind control, if we don't develop critical thinking, if we don't look inside with courage, then we will always be one step away from repeating the same trance. History has already shown what we are capable of when we stop thinking for ourselves.